So we know that the shin or the sin represents fire or the shining light of the sheen. So the shin or the sin represents the letter S and is closely related to the samech. So the Hebrew letter shin or sin not only represents fire and thus the moon god Sin, but in Paleo Hebrew represents the pictograph of something that pokes or pricks, something that is sharp, like a sharp tooth or a sharp thorn. And of course, the word thorn consists of the word horn. So, of course, the horn represents the horned moon, and thus represents the fertility or the romance under the moon. Thus, they say that you are feeling horny. And this is exactly why they tell you that sex is a sin. Now, remember that Moses met God on Mount Sinai and he saw a bush that was on fire. Remember, shin or sin is the symbol of fire. And according to the Bible, the bush had horns on it. This sacred bush had horns upon it. It was a thorny, horny bush that is known as a bramble. And we see another reference to the bull god Sin when we look at the Hebrew word for this thorny bush or this bramble. It's called Sineh, which is the thorny, prickly shrub bush of sin. So the thorns or the horns of the bramble bush, the Sineh, is closely related to the Quran. The Quran or the Karen are the horns that are worn upon the crown. So the true meaning for the Hebrew word for crown means the horns. The crown of horns, the Karen. So Moses, who wore the crown of horns, came from Mount Sinai, the mountain of the moon god, Sin. So you see, this is exactly why the Sinai Peninsula is named after the ancient moon god, Sin. So this is why the modern-day city of Lebanon, which comes from the ancient Cana-Phoenician city of Lebanon, tells you that the etymology of the word means white. The Levanah or the Lebanah is the Hebrew word for the full white moon. And the moon is the meaning behind the name Jericho in the Bible. In fact, Jericho takes its name from the Lord of the Moon, the Canaanite Phoenician moon god, Yerech. Thus, Jericho or Jericho. And right next to the city of Jericho, where they worshipped the ancient moon god, is Jordan. So as you know, the J is the Hebrew Yod. Thus, the Jordan is really the Jordan, the Yah. Notice the prefix root of Y-A-R, the Yar. So the Jordan is a river that runs through Palestine from the roots of anti-Lebanon, which means the anti-Lebanon mountain range, thus the mountain range of the Levanah, which is the moon god. In fact, when we take a look at the rivers that are connected to the Jordan River, you'll notice that they all are associated with the prefix of Yah. By the way, they say that Lebanon is named white because of the mountains that have the white snow caps. Because the white caps resemble the white moon or the Lebanah. Thus, mountains are considered godly because they penetrate and go up to heaven. They actually penetrate the clouds. And the clouds, to the ancients, were considered sacred and a part of heaven because that's where the moon and even the sun are. So to the ancients, the moon god Sin appeared to be in heaven with the white clouds, and thus the moon or Sin rode the clouds. You see, that's why the Bible says, "Exalt him who rides on the clouds. His name is Yahweh." And of course, this is why the Bible talks about Jesus returning in the clouds. And by the way, the mountains that are godly because they pierce the heavens or the clouds is exactly like a building, the bold house, which is like the tower or the Taurus bull that goes to heaven and pierces the clouds. And that's exactly what towers or buildings do. So the moon god Sin, or Yah, is the meaning behind the very word Jerusalem, which is really Yaru-Salem. They even tell you that Jerusalem comes from the Ugaritic Canaanite gods of Shalem and Shahar, which means the dusk and the dawn, the beginning and the end. So the Jah is really the Yah. And in ancient Egypt, the moon god was also known as Yah or Ayah. So this is why Islam has the moon god called Allah, which is El Yah. This is why the Islamic Muslim faith has the symbol of the bull, the symbolism of the crescent bullhorns of the lunar moon. So this is why you find the crescent bullhorns of the lunar moon throughout Islam. So this is why the Arabic Islamic Quran was revealed through the angel Gabriel to Muhammad. You see, Gabriel wears the crown of the horns because Gabriel is the moon angel of Moon's Day. This is why Islam worships the lunar rock that fell from heaven that was once white and then turned black. So this is why Muhammad was born and died on the Moon's Day, Monday. And of course, Muhammad was born on April 20th, which is the very day of Taurus the bull. So this is why Muhammad rode the mythical steed, which of course was a winged bull, which is why they show you the crescent bullhorns of the moon, which is why Muhammad took the night journey when the moon is out. Notice the mu in Muhammad and Musa. So this is exactly why Mount Sinai, or the mountain of the moon, is also known as Jabal Musa, or Yabel Musa. And this is why at Jabal Musa you will find the bull on the mountain of the bull, Mount Sinai or Mount Musa, Jabal Musa, the bull.
3 months into their trek, the caravan arrive at one of the most important places mentioned anywhere in the Bible, Mount Sinai. One of the most likely candidates is Jebel Musa, Arabic for Mountain of Moses. All the sights to be seen at Jebel Musa, perhaps none is more mysterious nor more compelling that this might well be Mount Sinai than the strange, completely natural rock formation at the foot of the mountain. It is a haunting image, evocative of a young bull, especially mystifying when we recall that while Moses was away on the mountain for 40 days receiving the 10 Commandments, Aaron and the Israelites constructed their infamous idol, the golden calf.
So the Israelites were worshiping their god, which was the cow, the bull, or the calf. Now, I want to show you an interesting connection. We all have seen a banana before, which is in the shape of a crescent moon. The An, the Nana, the Inanna, or Diana, the crescent moon of the banana. But did you know that it's actually called a moussa? And of course, another food item is the croissant, the crescent of the moon, which is why it's in the shape of the C. And the C begins the very word crescent and even Christ. And of course, words like cross or even create, which is why they tell us that we have a creator. So now you understand why they say it's a monotheistic religion. Yes, the moon god religion. Thus, the monarchy. Thus, the reason that there is a monastery or the moon star atop of Mount Musa. So Moses was found in the bulrushes, which was alongside of the river or the water. And the water or the mu is associated with the moon. Thus we have Musa and the moon. So the lunar moon is known for controlling the oceans, the seas, or the water. And of course, the human being is made up mostly of water. So this is why the lunar bull moon controls our mood. And of course, our mood comes from our mind, or the men, the moon god. And the moon god thought gives us our thoughts. This is why they say that we are mental, or that we are a lunatic. So the bull or the cow is closely associated with the moon, which is why we have the story of the cow that jumps over the moon. So you'll notice that Monday is named after the moon, Moon's Day, and is day 1. Thus mono, which is why Monday is named after the moon, like 1 month. Thus monotheism and a monarchy, all meaning one. So this is why we have the ruling elite or the elites, who are the elders that worship the Yahweh moon, thus the illuminated ones who are enlightened. So the Semitic deity Sin or Nana or even Nanar was known as the illuminator or the lamp, the house of the great light, the main god of the Semitic deity, the moon god Sin, the Most High. So let's take a look at the temple of the moon god Sin at Hazor, as mentioned in the Bible. It is in the mountains of Israel. This temple was dedicated to the Most High, the moon god Sin. Notice how the hands are reaching up to the moon god Sin. In fact, today they still praise the moon god Sin and use this same symbolism of the hands and the arms reaching up to the Most High. Thus, they are reaching to the crescent of the moon, like today they reach up to the cross, the crescent. Thus, the worship of the crescent cross of Christ. So the Hebrew root word of Yahweh is Yah. And in Hebrew, it's spelled with the Yod and the He, or the Y and the H. Yah. Take a look at the monument of Sin. It's the hands or the arms reaching up to the crescent moon of Sin. When we look at the Paleo-Hebrew letter of H or He, you'll notice it's a man with his arms reaching to the sky. And the Hebrew Yod is the arm or the hand. Thus, the arms and hands that reach to the sky god. The ancient Semitic Hebrew lunar bull god, Yah.